have now filled out the first half of the ultimate finals for this tournament, and now today we will fill out the second half. Here comes the first group hoping to do just that. We have the Vendetta, the Way Too Fast, the Batmobile, and the Horseplay. The Way Too Fast certainly was living up to their name, but now they have to go up against the Batmobile, who at this point in time, as far back as I can remember, they still hold the fastest time in this tournament so far, clocking in a 15.6692, I believe was the number. And so far, no one else, not even the Batmobile, has been able to break 16 seconds since. In this race right now, though, it is the Horseplay who's currently out in front. They are struggling a little bit to stay facing forward, but now they're going into that infamous hill, and they stay facing forward, finishing in first in the first race for this half of the Grand Finals, and the Batmobile finishing in third. I like how we have a little replay on this jump here so we can see how everyone did. And for the most part, it looks like everyone was able to stay not only on their wheels, but on the ground, barely going airborne, if at all. So now the Horseplay is out in front, and the Batmobile is struggling in third so far. But we've seen so many racers go back and forth in points, sometimes they don't even finish, and it's usually because of that infamous jump near the end. So let's see if that comes into play with this group. Right now the Way Too Fast is out in front, and the Batmobile is ahead of the other two, but now they're all bunching together, and they're trying to pass the Way Too Fast, and the Batmobile is closest to doing so, trying to find a way around. Almost had it, but got pushed up onto the railing and slowed down significantly. And now the Way Too Fast has a much bigger lead, and here they go into the hill. Staying on the ground, staying facing forward, and finishing in first. A wonderful finish for Way Too Fast. But what will happen with the other three? It looks like, I think that's Horseplay, and then the Batmobile. Or is that the Vendetta, actually? We have a non-finisher. Let's see which one it was. That is the Vendetta, I believe. From the top, it was kind of hard to tell for me. But the Way Too Fast had the clear win there. And second, oh, actually, all of them. All the other three almost struggled to get around that last turn. Thankfully, two of them did. But that one was not so lucky. Despite being called Way Too Fast, they still can't take Batmobile's fastest time away. The Batmobile is struggling a little bit. They finished in third yet again. They have to pick up the pace if they want to keep their time in these finals alive. Right now, the person with the most points is Way Too Fast, currently at 8. And the Batmobile is trailing at 4, whereas Horseplay, who actually is the one who did not finish. See, like I said, it is a little bit hard to tell. It is the Horseplay who did not finish in that second race. So they will stay at 5 points, and Vendetta caught back up with 4. So everyone else is now fighting for second place, while Way Too Fast is currently holding on to first. They get a nice little jump, a little shaky on the landing, but they do manage to finish in first again, which is great for them. And the Vendetta finished in second. I made sure to get it right that time. And the Batmobile yet again finishes in third. And the Horseplay is clear off the track. This jump, I'm sure, will show how that happened. Oh, wow, that is, I don't know what to call that, a smart play, a dirty play, or what? But the Vendetta actually stopped on top of the hill, and I think that influenced where the Vendetta went as they got into the air, and they went off track. So the Horseplay will actually stay at 5 points yet again. Hopefully I'm saying the names right at the right times, because sometimes I end up swapping them, and I deeply apologize if I'm doing that. But the Batmobile has 6, the Horseplay has 5, the Vendetta has 7, and the Way Too Fast has 13, so the Way Too Fast is already going to be moving on to the ultimate finals. And the Batmobile, while still having a shot, is still down by a point. So they will have to finish in front of the Vendetta if they want to move on. But right now, it is the Horseplay out in front right now, and they will finish in first. And the Way Too Fast will finish in second, the Batmobile in third. Meanwhile, the Vendetta, who needed to finish in front of the Batmobile, barely crosses the line. I think that will count. Because I think you have to have at least half of your vehicle over the finish line in order for it to count. We may actually have a tiebreaker on this. I'm not sure what's going to happen here. We'll have to double check the rules in a second. Or at least the points, for sure. But the Batmobile managed to finish in third every time, and that consistency may have actually kept him in this race. We'll have to see. No, the Batmobile is cut short because the Horseplay, despite not finishing twice, managed to grab first 2 times, and they will move on instead of the Batmobile. But now we have the second group. 2 of these racers will move on to the Ultimate Finals, and 2 of them will be cut short. Right now, though, despite the fact that the Batmobile is out, I believe they still have the fastest time in the tournament so far. So as long as nobody beats it, they can at least leave this tournament with some sort of title. But now we have the 65 Mustang, the Corvette, the Chevelle, and the Hot Tub in this competition. The Hot Tub may be the strangest racer, as they have an actual hot tub on their vehicle. But they are falling behind. The Mustang, however, had a beautiful jump, and they finished in first. Followed closely by, I believe that was the Corvette, and the Chevelle went off the track, as did the Hot Tub, actually. It's common that we've had 1 or 2 racers not finish because of that hill. But we rarely had 2 go off the track like that. The Chevelle seems to have actually ridden on the back of the Corvette for a second, and they fell off, and then the Hot Tub took a nosedive. That was a brutal ending for that race for them. So we have 2 non-finishers in that first race. That really helps the Mustang and the Corvette. And the Mustang is out in front right now, going around that first turn. They are trying to keep the Chevelle from passing them. Meanwhile, the Hot Tub is trailing in third, and the Corvette, who finished well in that first race, is so far in last in this one. The Mustang is trying to do anything they can to represent their fellow Mustangs as they go into this hump here, up into the air, and they spin around, but they manage to face forward yet again, almost anyway, and they cause a traffic jam, where only the Chevelle may finish. But as I say that, the Corvette comes around and pushes the Mustang across, and the Hot Tub, I'm not sure they're going to give that to them or not. Well, we almost only had 1 finisher in that race. Well, we had 2 now, possibly 3. We'll see what the judges think in the booth. The Corvette started off strong, but then started to slow down in this race and ended up not finishing at all. Now, the Mustang stopped the Chevelle almost entirely, but the Chevelle had enough speed, and the Mustang got nudged across, and they are going to give a 3rd place finish to the Hot Tub. That is a weird sentence to say, but I'm going to roll with it. So now, because of that 3rd place finish, the Hot Tub has 2, the Chevelle has 5, the Corvette has 3, and the Mustang has 8. They are the only racer in this group right now to have finished each time. And right now the Chevelle is out in front. This is a close race overall, as all 4 are staying relatively close together. The Chevelle is trying to pull away, but then they go completely sideways around that turn. Now all 4 are right on top of each other. Now it's the Mustang who has the lead, and the Hot Tub looks to pass him. But then the Mustang spins around and slows them all down. And the other 3 almost get stuck on the hill as the Mustang finishes going backwards, staying off the walls entirely, and the Hot Tub manages to sneak into second. And it looks like we will still have a non-finisher after all that, as the Corvette did not have the speed to go up that hill. After all that, we had one non-finisher, and the other three managed to pull it off. It looked like they were going to give it another attempt, but did not have the speed to do so. That was a smooth finish by the Mustang, who stayed off the walls almost entirely in that last stretch. But now the Mustang is in a great position to move on, currently holding on to 13 points, whereas the Chevelle is in second with 7, and the Hot Tub in 5, and the Corvette only with 3. So really, the Corvette could still move on if they finish well enough and the others don't. But so far, they are in last, while the Chevelle is way out in front. And the Hot Tub and the Mustang are trying to catch back up. The Mustang currently in second, with the Hot Tub bumping into them. The Chevelle going around the last turn, going up the hill, almost sideways, and they get on their side for a second. But they manage to correct themselves and still finish in second after all that, and the Mustang will finish in first. Let's see who's going to move on to the ultimate finals out of this group. The Chevelle almost did a little dance near the end there, sliding on their side for a second, then popping up only to land back on their wheels. Let's take a look at the total points. It will be the Mustang and the Chevelle moving on. So now we have our roster for the Ultimate Finals, and the Batmobile still has the fastest time in this tournament so far. Thank you all so much for watching. See you for the Ultimate Finals.